It's Madden NFL 24, and we'll see the Buccaneers' sure-handed wide receiver. He's putting together one of the better seasons in league history. It's the Buccaneers and the Saints on Sunday night.
And we're about 5 miles northwest of downtown Tampa at beautiful Raymond James Stadium. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds, so really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line. Wishing he had a mulligan. That's not how you want to start the game.
Not at all, because not only do you give up the penalty and good field position, but it just kills the momentum of your team as you start a game.
Play action. Stewart. There's Chris Olave. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. The end result, 21 yards.
What a start here to the ball game. You get the good kick return, followed by a quick first down through the air. If this defense isn't careful, they might be looking at a deficit before they know what hit them.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now here's a give to Spears. Down at the 35. It'll be 2nd down. You look at this defense for Tampa Bay. They were very strong last week in the win over Carolina.
When I look back at the stats from last week's game, I thought it was a typo. That was a misprint. It's one thing to hold someone under 100 yards in a game. That's phenomenal. Under 50? Absolutely exceptional.
Well, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Well, this defense for the Bucs, they were very strong last week in the win over Carolina.
And what I saw on film was a nearly unstoppable pass rush. 5 sacks last week. Plenty of runs given up. So now what do you do on offense? You just max protect, keep everyone in and run the ball? Or maybe just 1 or 2 receiver routes in order to try to keep your quarterback upright?
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
Nice call by the defense there on 3rd down. Just flood the field with extra defensive backs in their dime package. Nowhere to go with the football. Forces the incompletion.
And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. But now there is a penalty marker on the field. So let's see what this is about. So they'll go ahead and accept the penalty.
Automatic 1st down.
The roughing the kicker called on 4th down. What a big break. Leads to a 1st and 10. Throwing now, Stewart. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play. One that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Stewart sets to throw. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle 3rd. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down.
Slants are so tough to cover because everything happens so fast. But sometimes it happens too fast for the guy catching the ball because all of his movements have to be quick off the line of scrimmage, and then all of a sudden the ball's right on top of you. And maybe he got a little bit ahead of himself there.
And a lot of times coming in with good pace, and he dropped it. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
A lot of precision being shown on this opening drive. They've been methodical, they've been crisp, and as a reward, they're going to be set up with an early 1st and goal.
1st and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. Stewart. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle 3rd of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down. That's already the third time they've looked his way on this opening drive. He's caught one of the three.
That doesn't mean they won't continue to go in that direction. It feels like they think they've got something good going there, and I think those numbers are going to increase.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
He's batting down the hatches time defensively. Got 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and do about that?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you kind of run out of your running plays, fire another one into the end zone.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, that play there was certainly a scouting report special because Cover was all too aware that this close to the end zone, he's going to become a bigger weapon for that offense, and they were there to help force the incompletion.
And his kick is right there. It's good, and the Saints are going to take a 3-0 lead.
Well, they had the great field position to start that opening drive. They only get 3 out of it, but still they get 3, so maybe kind of a win for the offense, Charles, and kind of a win for the defense as well.
Yeah, I would say win-win seems to sum the whole thing up because where that ball was placed to start, that's tough on a defense, and they held them to 3. Now, if you're the offense, you're thinking to yourselves, how do we open up the playbook later on in this game and turn this 3 into 6s down the stretch?
So here are the Bucs now to take over for the first time. And trotting out there leading them is their 4th-year quarterback.
And he just continues to throw touchdown pass after touchdown pass, leading the league here down the final stretch of the year. Guys will say that the numbers and rankings, they don't matter to him very much. How much I actually believe that. Sure, he's team first, but I think everyone would like to see him finish number 1, including himself.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll drop to throw.
He's got this to Williams, complete. Down the right sideline.
Touchdown, Tampa Bay. A great effort there. Touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Bucs are able to answer the early 3 points and take a first-quarter lead.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field. And that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control, and at the end result, a touchdown.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25.
New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their second drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done. A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Now Stewart, second down. And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and lead to a 3rd and long.
Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here, picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
He's got him in, complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Well, that's how you convert on 3rd down with an explosive gain of 34. That catch, by the way, kind of noteworthy. It's number 764 in his career. Ties him with Hall of Famer James Lofton.
And he's done it just as James Lofton did in his career. Smooth.
On 1st down, Stewart, incomplete.
You look at this defense for Tampa Bay.
They were very strong last week in the win over Carolina.
And what I saw on film was nearly an unstoppable pass rush. They had 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries. So now do you just max protect on offense, keep everyone in, and run 1 or 2 receiver routes to make sure your quarterback stays up? We'll see how find out.
And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Calling no gain on the run there, and they'll be looking at a 3rd down. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
And they will finally get him down as he's on the way to the 36-yard line.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long, because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
Sheds off the tackle. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first. Thought they were going to have him down a lot earlier, but he was able to shed that tackle.
Shows the value of the weight room, doesn't it? Shows the value of the attitude when you run the football. Don't go down easily. Break a few tackles. Gain some additional yardage.
Right back to him on 1st down. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. This running game so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead him to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity. And that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week. And right now,
he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Saints are going to have it here at their own 15. So the ball changing hands on the interception, but meanwhile here we do have an injury on the play. Always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. We'll step aside. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Not an ideal way to end their previous drive. They threw the interception, Charles, after they had built up some momentum. They were moving the football, but something to at least build on for this offense as they run back out here.
Yeah, you're right about that. Up until that last play, everything was working pretty well for this offense, gaining chunks of yardage, getting 1st downs, really making a push for the end zone, and looked like they had a nice rhythm going. Now you got to have a short memory here. Don't focus on the interception. Focus on what came before it and get back to it.
And he gets it here to right around the 24 before he's out of bounds. It'll be a gain of 5. And it'll leave him with 3rd and a full yard to go.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down.
On 3rd down, it's Armstrong.
And this will wind up a Saints 1st down as the tackle made just shy of the 30.
Well, that was big right there because they're in the bottom 5 in the league and converting on 3rd down. They needed that pickup in a big way.
There were 2 things they said they wanted to win in this game. 1, the turnover battle, and the second, 3rd down conversions. So they got 1 there. Now Stewart on 1st and 10. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. So he'll be stopped here for no gain. And it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. Rush coming, and he's taken down. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
Well, we knew this guy wasn't especially fleet of foot, but he tried to conjure up some escapability, but there was no way he was getting away on that one.
3rd and 20.
Here's Stewart to throw it. Under pressure, and they got to him again. The safety blitz turns out to be a great call defensively as they sack him for a loss of 9. After 1, 7-3 the score. The Saints with the football here to begin quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 4th down coming up. On is the punter Townsend as he gets this one away. And he'll take it on this side of midfield. 42-yard punt, 6 on the return. And the Buccaneer offense will be set up well as they take over. So out come the Bucs now.
And a close game like this, Charles, those interceptions like they had on the last drive could be costly. But here they've got another opportunity to seize control of this game.
And they'd better take advantage of it, because otherwise, if they end up losing by one score, they'll relive this over and over and over until they have another opportunity to wipe it away.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
And Charles, you think about this offense, and it's kind of a tricky time of the season because you're 14-0, looking to see this one out to the end, but you start to run into situations where guys are getting a little banged up. Maybe could use some time sharing, some time on the bench just to rest. How do you approach the rest of this regular season?
I'm telling you, you don't ask the easy stuff, do you? I mean, you created a heck of a situation there, and actually you didn't create it. You presented it, and you're exactly right. It is tricky because your eye has to bring the ultimate prize, which is a Super Bowl. That's paramount. But at the same time, how much fun would it be to go down as one of the all-time great teams and join the 1972 Dolphins as the only undefeated team to win a Super Bowl?
They'll look to throw here on first down. Flush to his right. And he's going to hook up with his big tight end. Complete. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it's second down.
Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a second defender, but the big man shrugged off the extra body and made the play call a success.
Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. And in for the Buccaneers touchdown. A great play there with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Buccaneers are able to stretch out their lead. Now the extra point. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. So that drive, 4 plays. And it ends with a touchdown for the Bucs. The Bucs ready for the kickoff. And here we go. It's in the air. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3-point seeding.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Second down, here's Stewart. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much. The Saints on third down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, it's Stewart. And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on third down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up.
Frustrating end to a drive here. This offense, they've not been able to get anything going in this first half. And now it's going to be time to gather on the sidelines and try and figure out what's going wrong. Who has an idea? Who has a plan? Time to implement it.
A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. And Tampa Bay trots out there now.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Now 2nd and 9.
They'll set up to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And now we've got a 3rd and 4.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. The Bucs passing game looking good on this drive. It's a 1st down.
That's the 3rd time on this drive that these two connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going. And right now, it's paying off with big chunks of yardage, as shown by that last play.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. He's got a man. It's his tight end. That's complete. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. So 5 plays on this drive, Charles. All passes, all completions, and just like that, they're in the red zone.
And don't you think the playbook opens up a little bit more now? Because all they've done is throw the football. If you want to run it now, you may very well have them fooled.
Touchdown! A great effort there for the lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. Extra point right down the middle, and the lead is up to 18 now. That time a 6-play drive, and it's all finished off with a touchdown by Tampa Bay. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And he'll very wisely take a knee here as they'll bring this one out to the 25 on the touchback. The New Orleans offense back out and ready to go. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. They'll keep it on the ground. Armstrong. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and about 7 left.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That 3rd down conversion good for 23. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that. 2nd down. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Another throw and 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting at once, you get first-half scores just like this one.
And he is caught, and they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. They'll get 34 yards there.
So often when we're watching a football game, we see one with a lot of ebbs and flows, and this one is no different. And sometimes you just need a big play to wake you up a bit, and they get one right there. That shot of caffeine this offense was looking for.
And this one taken in by Olave. So nothing doing there, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, the stats that matter on this play, don't help a team very much unless, of course, you're playing defense.
If you're getting points per reception, you got a reception, but no yardage. Great job by the defense, though. They read through that one.
They read through it, gave up no yardage, and people got credit for tackles. Pretty good deal.
Come on. Hey. Unlock right. Unlock.
Throwing out of the shotgun, it's Stewart. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
He's got his target. That's complete. And the Saints are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
And this is an offense in need of getting a few good things to happen. Here's one right here. They've had their share of struggles in key moments, but that's a nice throw and nice work after the throw. And they're set up now with a first and goal.
They'll try to run this one in. And he put up a good fight, but he's going to be taken down behind the line of scrimmage.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, second and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. This Tampa Bay defense, they held strong on the first 2 plays. Now third and goal. And they'll turn to a power game to try to get in. The Bucs forced to use their third and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Out now is the field goal unit for New Orleans. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And this one is right through.
So a long drive gets them down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field.
To think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19.
Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over.
And not an abundance of time remains on the clock, Charles, but you would think more than enough to try to extend this lead before intermission.
And when you're talking about extending the lead, I think you're talking about aiming for the end zone because there is plenty of time for that. The fallback is to get 3. But in your mind, you put 6 on the board right before the half. That's a heck of a dagger and great momentum to carry into the locker room.
These 2 teams met up earlier in the year, back in Week 4, and it was the visiting Bucs who came away victorious, so they'll look to claim the season series with a win here in Tampa.
And this is caught by Williams. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. So the big play gets him across midfield now for first and 10. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Wide open receiver complete.
And he's going to be out of bounds all the way down at the 2. So close.
A big play there just before halftime. 41 yards.
Already over 1,000 yards receiving this season. That catch is just going to add to his total. Certainly not resting on his laurels. He's trying to continue to gain as many yards as possible and continue this big season.
It in for the Buccaneer touchdown. A great play there with his 14th touchdown of the year, second of the game.
And the Buccaneers continue to pull away here in this first half.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. ready for the kickoff. And here we go. It's in the air. And now thing here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25.
And the Saints going to go on offense one final time in this first half.
And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
So just 3 yards on the completion there, and it'll be second down.
Well, we're in the latter stages of this season. Everybody's getting antsy, so antsy that we're going to skip the halftime and get ready for the third quarter.
And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter.
The Bucs with the lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway.
With the Bucs offense making their way back out on the field, let's take a look at the playoff picture, Charles, coming into the weekend in the NFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that #1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it, his team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that #1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through, and I think we've seen that in recent years in the NFL. The teams that play and play to win each and every game, they're the ones to deal with in the playoffs.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
44 yards rushing for him now. He's only carried the ball 4 times.
Well, they've certainly been successful throwing it around in this game. That's allowed them to move the ball on offense. But I've got to tell you, to watch them run the football and successfully, I'm not taking sides. But to see the ball in a running back's hands, oh, that's football for me.
And he pushes through a would-be tackler to get about 3 yards, second down.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
From the 41, here's second down and 7.
To the outside, that's complete to Williams. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And now we've got a third down and 3. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
On third and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air.
And this incomplete. Oh, my. He might have been celebrating in the end zone if he'd held on. Nearly picked, but instead, it'll bring up 4th down.
And he gets it away. A directional kick going toward the sideline. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. Play action. Stewart. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. And he'll be out of bounds near the 30. In fact, right on the 30. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down. Back to throw. Stewart. And he will find his man on the outside. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. I know it's an emotional game. can't do that.
And when you get into your film sessions and you argue your case with your coaches, that's exactly what they say at the end. You just can't do it. It costs your team.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Stewart.
Oh, and that is incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Back to throw. Stewart. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
But the passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
That's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
And the Buccaneers getting ready to go as they take the field.
Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still they've got the lead here, and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. Unable to corral him. He fights through. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
Not too shabby for his first carry of the game. That's exactly what most teams are looking for, a really good change of pace back.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
He'll look to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. It gets it into the arms of Parker. Complete. Now we're going to get a timeout. Appears we've got an injured Buccaneer.
But not. Late in the season, medical staff is going to check on him, and we'll step aside for a moment. From the 48-yard line, here's the 2nd down and 9. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And a good push up front, and he's able to navigate his way down inside the 30.
That good for 19 on a 1st down. They had things a little spread out there with 4 wide receivers, and it opened up a running hole.
Yeah, not only do you get better running lanes because you are spread out, oftentimes when defenses see 4 wide receivers, they substitute in extra defensive backs, so you're blocking smaller personnel. That gives your running back a nice chance downfield against that type of a defense.
And a hard-working run here as he's got it inside the 20, down to the 17.
A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And he's got his big tight end here. Now we're going to get a timeout. Here's we've got an injured Buccaneer.
Always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. We'll step aside. Now 2nd and 5.
Now a handoff up the middle. It's Parker. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. There, they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. But he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. A third down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
Well, this has been a long drive. In fact, it's eaten up a good chunk of the third quarter, which is precisely what you want when you're playing with the lead. You control the football, you control the clock, and impose your will on the defense.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's in. Touchdown, Buccaneers. A great effort there.
With now 15 rushing touchdowns on the year. And the Bucs add 6 to their lead.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll push the lead up to 29 now. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here and maybe beating the traffic in order to get home into their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
Stewart. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes.
Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge...
Analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third-and-long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. Here comes the Saints punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Let's take it at around the 40.
A very good punt, but a 16-yard return.
And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. So out come the Bucs now. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25.
44 yards rushing for him now in his first 2 carries of the ballgame.
Successful toss play to the right there. It's interesting. Teams seem to run the toss a lot more to the right than to the left.
It's usually a little more natural. Right-handed quarterback, typically your power side running the ball is to the right side with your guard and your tackle. In college football...
And in for the Buccaneers, touchdown. What a great play there. 27 yards.
And the Bucs are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Boy, another score. This lead gets even bigger. And Charles, we haven't even hit the 4th quarter yet.
Well, forget the deficit, right? They're really not going to cut into that a heck of a lot. But how can they get out of here with some dignity? Can they get a stop or two? Can they make a play on offense themselves? Anything to start to feel better about what's happened to them here in this one.
The Bucs ready for the kickoff. And here we go. It's in the air. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here.
Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on first and second down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
Hey, check.
Up the middle they go. It's Armstrong.
Yeah, this will wind up a Saints first down as the tackle made here at the 36.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Alert!
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Throwing now, Stewart. Throwing the out route, incomplete. It's Hunter. One quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Tampa. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair.
Come on.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
Stewart sets to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. They'll try and throw it with Stewart.
Well, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line.
Well, with this advantage, this defense knew that passes were coming, and they stayed in position, Charles, and picked one off here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, what a way to cap things off, huh? Because I think this is part of the game within the game. They see the scoreboard, they see what they can accomplish, and they went for it.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. They'll try the left side. Parker. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
The Bucs on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and a mile. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he'll get it out to midfield. They'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down. Here comes the Buccaneers punter now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback.
The Saints again ready to go. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Again from the 20 after the incompletion. Here's 2nd and 10. Here's Stewart to throw it. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down.
And that's another play that's painted a picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Looking to throw. Stewart.
Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
Now, 4th quarter, certainly not enough time for a comeback, but nice to see them making use of the time remaining to try and make this one a little more respectable.
Yeah, I think the ultimate goal, good execution, be crisp, be sharp, and find a way to put some points on the board to make this thing look just a little bit better. That incompletion brings us one step closer to the end of this one, maybe mercifully, partner. And let's face it, though, no surprise, they're still flinging it around. They have pride, too.
Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. He couldn't get away. He'll wind up with... and it brings him 3rd.
Guys with his talent in the pocket aren't supposed to be getting hit like this, and you know an intense conversation with the offensive line is going to occur after this one. Might not be from him, but the offensive line coach will have plenty to say about this game.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. It'll be a 44-yard punt. The return goes for 8.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. They'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down.
Well, they had the right down and the definite distance to take a shot downfield, but it didn't work out the way that they had envisioned.
No, that's a situation where if you take a sack close to the line of scrimmage, it's not that bad. But a loss like that, you can't take a sack there.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing you cannot do, they did.
And he is going to have the Bucs 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
There's a beautiful throw there, and he's been sensational the entire game, moving it around, spreading it, hitting the right guys. And look, under normal situations, partner, I would expect him to come out of the game now. They've got it in hand. But you and I have been around this league a long time, and every time we ask head coaches about it, hey, why don't you take your quarterback out when the game's in hand? They just kind of give us that look like that's what he's paid to do. So it's a very unusual situation. I'd want him out. They tend to leave him in.
From just across the midfield stripe, here's 2nd down and 3.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Parker, and he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41.
87 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they turn to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
46 yards on the play.
Well, we're beyond the tone setting right now. This guy's been a bell cow all day, and they'll continue to rely on him to move the chains, drain the clock, and lead his team.
So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line.
Now a timeout here, at least for the moment. Looks like one of the Saints is injured, shaken up on that last play.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal.
Tucker will score. Touchdown, Buccaneers.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Extra point right down the middle. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. The New Orleans offense set to take over. Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is end the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Back to throw. Stewart.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far.
And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
Another great play defensively, and they've been sharp on both sides of the ball, Charles, but that interception means that this defense will very well keep them down to single digits on the scoreboard in this game.
And that's certainly something to smile about, isn't it, partner, if you're on defense? Because your goal every game is to pitch a shutout, but you and I both know that's pretty unrealistic. But to hold a team below double figures in a game, in an NFL game, that's certainly something to take pride in.
Here's 2nd and 7.
They'll keep it on the ground. Parker.
And this defense not ready for that one as he'll take this down inside the 25. It's a gain of 11, and the Bucs have a 1st down. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. That one looks like he'll throw here. And it's caught. And they're going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Another touchdown here in the fourth quarter, and Charles, I think we can start to consider that this undefeated streak of theirs is going to be safe for another week.
And partner, you don't make it this far into a season without a loss unless you're getting contributions from both sides of the ball, and sometimes even your special teams, and that's been true today. Each side helping guide them to this late lead.
Point after, right down the middle. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Well, this game, it was well in hand early, never really in doubt. Charles, you and I do so many games together. There's so much parity in the NFL, a lot of close battles. This was not one. Tip your cap to them for a really impressive effort.
Yeah, and you know, as the game went on, I think the defense kind of got together and said, you see our guys on offense, they're just putting up point after point. We need to leave our mark somehow, too, and they did it, pitching a second-half shutout.
So for the Buccaneers,
they are now 2 wins away from a perfect regular season as they move to 15-0.
and they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Saints, their playoff hopes take a big hit as they fall to 8-7. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.